Okay, so we're at Integromat and we want to create a new scenario. So we want to use webhook to get values and use them for several things. So let's see how we do it. First thing, we want to find the webhook, which is usually down here. We use custom webhook. We need to put the connection. We can copy that link. If you don't know how to do it, just follow my instructions. It's written on Instructable. You can press OK. The link we copied, we need to put it here. We can write question mark value equals to, and then whatever we're gonna write. So we want to connect that webhook to a router because we're going to use the value we get for several things, depends on the value. Of course, we're going to do it with filters. So the first thing we want to do is adding Gmail option, right? So every time we get the expert value, we want to send an email to an expert from the person who sent it. So let's do send an email, connect. We use the connection I already have, which I connected my Google account. But if you don't have one, you can press here and then get to a video that shows you how to do it. It's very simple. So the recipient would be, let's copy the mail. I'm using the same mail for sending and receiving, just for the instructions. This is the email address we're going to send the mail to. The subject is, let's say, call me. And then the content would be call me at that number because this is what I'm asking you to do. We can write everything else, right? We want to, right? Okay, so this is the mail. And then we need to tell Integromat when should it send it mail. So we're going to use a filter, right? Let's call it expert filter. And the condition is every time the value we get, one time equal to expert, this is the time we want to send the Gmail. So if you go here, we can see we have only one here. Let's delete it, go to Integromat, and now we see we have a filter named expert. And of course, we're gonna put many different things here in the router, but now let's test the Gmail. So we're gonna save it, and then we do run once, and what happens now, it's waiting for the webhook to catch value. So this is what we do here. We set the value to expert, because this is the value we decided it would be. We said it gets expert, accept, sorry. So we go here, we see it finished, it was completed, and now we need to see if we have a new mail here. It says it's empty. Let's refresh it. And there you go. You got a new mail named call me with the message you want to send. Okay? So this is the first thing we do with Integromat. And the next thing we're going to do is set up some options to posting to Facebook groups and then getting it to Google Sheets. Let's see. And we see that we got, at this moment, the Facebook post, feels like I want to go for a walk, would be happy for a company, call me at that phone number. Okay, so now we see that Integromat knows how to get a value walk, and the router see these filters and posting something to Facebook group. And let's say we want to use several filters for different Facebook groups, so we can do the same as we did here for several Facebook groups. And now let's say we want, which is the same, so we don't need to show it, but let's say we want to add a follow for every post that someone posts. Let's say that an expert from the volunteering group wants to see which one and when and how many posts he did about walking or eating or I don't know. So let's say he has an Excel sheet named follow request. Let's say he has several people he wants to follow, so it's Gil and Firas and Israel. Let's say he wants to follow Israel, right? So how we do it? We need to add another model of Google Sheets, and we need to add a row, right? And then now we need to say into Integromat, where should it be written? So it's Google Sheets, so we need to use the connection we already have, and I remind you that if you don't know how to do it, just follow my instructable, and then you're gonna see there how to connect your Google. So the model is select spreadsheet and sheet. So the spreadsheet would be, as we saw, follow request, and the sheet would be, let's say, Israeli, right? The table contains headers, of course, and the value, let's say he wants to know the time. So every time it's posted, it should say when, and the value, he wants to know if it's walk, play, eat, or I don't know what. So we do OK, and now we want to test it. Okay, so again, we need to save it. Okay, so after we save the scenario, we want to test it. So let's do run once. We're going to listen to new. We're going to the test tab. And then we want to send the value walk, right, as before. So we do that. We're waiting for accepted, see if it works. Okay, we see the Integromat also that, as again, it was completed. So now we want to see utility process because we did too many tests, so we want to see that it works. Okay, so you want to see here in the Excel that we got something here, and there it is. We see that at this time 22, okay, we see it's the same time but at a different area. Okay, so this is why it's 12 and not 14, and it got the value walk, so we see it works. So now we have a webhook that catches values, and with router and filters at Integromat, he knows if he needs to send a mail to an expert or posting something on a Facebook group and put it in Google Sheets for following it. And you can do as many Facebook groups as you want and many emails as you want, and this is the whole thing. Thanks.